Hi, this is Nick Forster. We're going to share one of our favorite eTown shows from the archives, and it starts right now.
From eTown Hall in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, it's eTown with this week's guest from Nashville, Tennessee, Nikki Lane, author, film producer, and environmental activist Marc Barasch, and from Chewelah, Washington, Alan Stone. I'm Helen Forster. Join me now in welcoming our host, Nick Forster.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Helen. Welcome to eTown Hall, our solar-powered musical clubhouse. And you guys are all in. You guys are all in the club. Welcome. So a variety show is what's coming up. We've got it all. We've got some thoughtful, smart people making music, writing songs. One is innovating with carbon-trapping agriculture. One is always on the hunt for cool fashion. We got a cool finale. It's all happening. Our two musical guests grew up just about as far away from each other as they possibly could. One in South Carolina, one in the Pacific Northwest. They both were pretty much who they were when they popped out. Our first guest grew up singing in his family's church. His dad was the pastor. He was singing on stage when he was 3 years old, leading the worship service and playing guitar when he was 13. But at 15, he heard Stevie Wonder and a bunch of classic soul music. And after about a year of college, Bible school included, he made an about-face and pursued a career in music. He moved to Seattle and has been going on just ever since, doing really well. He's been on TV a bunch of times. He's put out 4 records. He's been on Conan and Ellen and all the shows that have just one person's name. He has a ton of fans and followers, and it's not surprising, as you're about to find out. Please welcome to eTown for his first visit, Alan Stone.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Every night when I close my eyes, all of my troubles they fade. But still every morning when I rise, I'm sleeping in this bed. Well, I took a plane over the stars and it didn't get me very far. All my problems, they just follow me. Oh, well, I flew to the moon, but it wasn't far enough away from you. All of my problems, they just follow me. I will let every night I close my eyes, all my troubles they fade. But every morning when I rise, I'm just sleeping in this bed that I made. Oh, in this bed that I made, 1,000,000 times inside of my mind. Baby, I have justified, baby, but all my problems, they just follow me. Oh, well, I discovered a way to cleverly avoid the blame, but all my goddamn problems, they just follow me below. And every night I close my eyes, and all my troubles they fade. fame. Should to face these demons as they came. Oh, but what I wouldn't trade, oh, to make some room here in this bed that I made over every night. Here when I close my eyes, oh, well, all my troubles they fade. But still every morning when I rise, I'm sleeping in this bed. I'm sleeping in this bed. Oh, well, I'm sleeping in this bed that I made.
Thank you. You're very kind. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here in eTown. This next song is a song that I wrote about my wife. This last record, Building Balance, has been a real stretch for me. I've never written love songs before. For many years, I was very opposed to writing songs about love because in the R&B soul world, it's all that people write about. It's either love and romance or the club. And I don't really know anything about either. Until I met my wife and started finding that security in expressing the reality of that love. And so this is a song called Give You Blue.
Oh, well, I can't stop the rain, but I will keep you dry. When the shore feels far away, baby, I'll be by your side. And when the storms arise, baby, I will shelter you. 'Cause when your sky is gray, hey, I will give you blue. Oh, well, I can't move a mountain, 'cause I am just a rain. No, I can't undo what's happened. Baby, I will understand. And although it may hurt, baby, I'll tell you the truth. 'Cause when your sky is gray, hey, I will give you blue. Oh, well, I can't stop the rain, but I will wipe your tears. Well, I wish I could take what hurts you, baby, make it disappear. Oh, but I can't work no miracles, but I'll do what I can do. Oh,
Thank you very much.
Alan Stone, welcome. What a singer. What a singer.
Thank you very much.
You got started early, as most good singers do. A lot of good singers start in church.
Yeah, I had the privilege of having to sing
Yeah.
in front of people from a very, very early age.
Yeah. And let me ask you an important question about this time in your young musical development, which is your dad is the pastor of this church.
Yeah.
And you're singing, and you're in a pretty tight-knit community, and suddenly you're branching out. You're learning all this other stuff. Did that provide any kind of conflict or tension in your family, or were they cool with all this new stuff you were learning and singing?
I was the youngest of 3 until I was about 16, 17, and then my family adopted 2 little girls from the community. And so I was in this really cool shelf where by the time I was 14, my parents were just like, whatever.
They're tired.
They're just exhausted.
You're invisible.
Yeah, exactly. I was just invisible. I was like, whatever, I'm going to be in my room.
Yeah. But you did have a falling out or a break in the thing because you went to college, you went to Bible school, and then after that you said, I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to be part of this faith anymore in a way, right? Or what did you say? You called it corporate religion.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone is religious. I think that religion is just an expression of what we believe exercised in our life. So if you're a Patriots fan, your religion's going pretty well for the last 10 years. If you're a Browns fan, it might be, it's tough, right?
Yeah.
There's not very many seats in those pews.
But you'll keep the faith.
But you keep the faith,
Yeah.
right? If you're a vegetarian, that's an expression of the beliefs that you hold. So I wouldn't say I stepped away from faith. I just reorganized my faith, and it didn't have anything to do with the tradition of the current corporate Christian religion.
And your parents were okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, they were very loving through it and respectful of it. I mean, I left when I was 20, so there's only so much you can do to your 20-year-old kid.
Yeah. So you moved to Seattle, and then did you start joining like cover bands, or what did you do when you found yourself living in Seattle?
At first, I just started picking and grinning, like anywhere people would listen. So parties, barbecues, coffee shops. I played nursing homes.
Hey, in case you just tuned in, you're listening to eTown. I'm here with Alan Stone. Let's also mention that playing on Conan and Ellen and being on American Idol and things like that are not exactly on the downhill slide of anybody's musical career. Those are great opportunities, and you nailed it in each case. And I'm sure that made a difference, right? Don't you think being on television helped people discover you as a singer?
Yeah, totally. I always, I think the one, if I were to call it a gimmick, I don't do it on purpose, but what I hear a lot from folk is, you don't sound like you look.
Right.
And if you're to hear one of my songs on the radio, there's, it's like, oh, cool, this is an R&B song. I enjoy the sound of what's happening here. But when people connect the face of their Aunt Karen with the soul music of the 60s and 70s, it's like, oh man, this is a new thing for me. So TV kind of always seems to, it helps.
Yeah, helps break the ice. Yeah, helps let people know.
Yeah.
I heard that happened when Buddy Holly first went to New York, that they booked him at the Apollo, and it was like, wait a minute. But anyway, you are certainly a soulful singer. The new record is called Building Balance. What's the motivation for that title?
Well, I just turned 30 a few years ago. I met my wife, and for many years of my own personal life, I would imagine many of the listeners' journeys are maybe mirrored that, but I kind of always feel like I'm floating. Like I don't know where I fit in this thing. I don't understand where my place is. I don't know what I'm doing ever. And what I was hoping to express was the understanding to the listeners that it's okay to feel off kilter. I come from loggers and miners and ski bums up in the Pacific Northwest, but I sing music that's traditionally been cultivated from the South, and I grew up with a very religious background, but I've pulled pieces of that and then threw that away. There's this
And you're a dad.
I'm a father now, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's the best thing I've done with my life by far.
So building balance is all about looking for it every day and trying to make the pieces fit together. And you've got some great building blocks you've already assembled, Alan. You got some great skills, and it's really cool to meet you and get to hear you sing. And we're going to do more of that right now. It's okay with you?
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
Yeah. Let's get back to music. Welcome back, Alan Stone. Alan Stone, along with eTown's Chris Engelman, Christian Chio, Ron Jolly. I got to play some guitar. Alan will be back to play a lot more music later on in the show.
This portion of eTown is made possible by the Bohemian Foundation, building stronger communities through the bohemian qualities of creativity and imagination. On the web at bohemianfoundation.org. If you happen to tune in late and you've missed some of this week's program, the eTown podcast will have this episode and others, along with content from past shows as well. It'll be available for free in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast directories. And if you're curious about eTown's home base, eTown Hall, our beautiful solar-powered music venue, community center, and recording studio located in downtown Boulder, Colorado, you can learn more about it on our website, eTown.org. You're listening to eTown.
I'm Nick Forster. This is eTown. Alan Stone will be back later on in the show. And coming up, Nikki Lane is here from Nashville, Tennessee. But first, every week, we get to share a story of somebody who is doing something special in their hometown or beyond. Generally, these folks are volunteers, but sometimes they're business people or authors or scientists. And listeners often tell us about these folks, and we get to pass on their stories to you. So thanks to all of you out there who keep sending in ideas and stories. This week is a good one, but someone we were, in fact, familiar with. Here comes Helen to tell you about this week's guest.
Thank you, Nick. Marc Barasch is kind of hard to describe. He's a nonfiction author of books like The Healing Path and The Compassionate Life. He's been an editor at Natural Health and Psychology Today. He's a filmmaker and contributing writer on arts and the environment. But back in 2006, he launched something called the Green World Campaign to focus on restoring degraded landscapes while literally drawing down CO2 from the atmosphere. Marc is very passionate about trees because he knows that when they're cut down, the environment can suffer. Among other things, the landscape can lose vital fertility, often causing hunger and conflict to grow in their place. Water supplies are significantly affected, plant and animal life suffer, and so on. Well, Marc is now a champion of something called regenerative agriculture, going beyond sustainability and helping literally heal the planet, and with luck, fight climate change at the same time. Now, Marc's efforts also provide eco-education to school kids, mostly in Africa, also training for farmers, and most importantly, his efforts are all locally managed by the folks in the communities that are affected by all this. He's here with us, so please welcome Marc Barasch.
Hey, Marc, welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Let's start with the phrase that Helen mentioned, just talking about regenerative agriculture. What's the difference between organic or sustainable and regenerative?
Well, I think it also has to do with the difference between sustainable and regenerative as an approach. Sustainable is wonderful, but it's basically avoiding negative footprints. And regenerative is you're not just avoiding harm, you're trying to do more good. So when it translates to agriculture, you're not just avoiding pesticides and chemicals and GMOs, you're actually creating ecological agriculture or agroforestry or agroecology. You're actually mimicking the way an ecology works. You're building soil, which is really absolutely essential, and you're drawing down carbon. So in a way, I'd say regenerative agriculture builds on the wonderful legacy of organic, but it carries it further.
So you're talking about creating healthy soil using things like crop rotation and naturally harmonized plants and things to create a kind of a circular ecosystem within the agricultural world that can eventually avoid pesticides and fertilizers, but also really create a sort of living soil kind of situation.
Yes, exactly. Living soil is the key.
Yeah.
Living soil means there are biota, living mycorrhizal fungi and bacteria and that sort of thing. And if you look at conventional agriculture, the soil is essentially dead. It's like a zombie soil, and you reanimate it with chemicals. And these are self-renewing systems, and they actually spiral into greater functionality.
Right.
If you treat the soil as an asset and as an appreciating asset, then you have a really good economic model. But in the beginning, you can really just start, it's just add trees.
Yeah.
Trees make an enormous difference in terms of the biology of the soil. So why not use the natural systems rather than killing the natural systems and replacing them by dumping chemicals on it?
In case you just tuned in, you're listening to eTown. I'm here with Marc Barasch. I know that you have projects in other countries, Kenya, Ethiopia, India, Mexico, And I'm sure that when you're working with those degraded landscapes, you're dealing with the specifics of that particular ecosystem when you're thinking about what trees to plant, which communities to participate with, how to engage the locals, and so on.
Absolutely. And we're learning from the locals, and we're learning from the local ecology. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, especially with this regenerative ideal. It's always based on the localities.
Any of the trees you plant produce food or anything that can actually help with providing nutrition to these folks?
Oh, as much as possible. I mean, we plant multi-purpose trees. So if we plant a tree, it'll have fruit or nuts. It'll help the soil. It'll help erosion. The leaves will be useful for animal fodder, let's say, or for fertilizing the ground. Trees are nature's Swiss Army knife. If you were to think of a machine that runs on solar energy and absorbs carbon and emits oxygen and produces food, fodder, fuel, building materials, retains water and recharges aquifers, and has been field tested for 450 million years in every possible climate, I'll buy that.
Yeah. That's a cool description of a tree. So, as I understand it, regenerative agriculture in general and tree planting specifically has sort of caught the attention of lots of major players these days. Big corporations and banks and others and countries and leadership is looking at this seriously.
Yes, it's starting. I mean, there is something like $50 billion in the U.S. invested in regenerative agriculture at this point, seen as an investment because, again, if you're regenerating land, it's an appreciating asset in a way. You're making it appreciate.
Yeah. Well, Marc, this is super exciting just because it's early stages and could easily be the sort of our best hope for making a dent, making a difference globally. If folks want to learn more about your efforts and your work, is there a website or anything, place where people can go?
Greenworld.org.
Greenworld.org. Cool. We'll be keeping an eye on your progress, and thanks for sharing this info, and thanks for visiting eTown.
My pleasure.
Yeah, that's Marc Barasch, the Green World Campaign.
Wow, what a great story. If by chance you tuned in the middle of this segment and you'd like to hear the whole thing, as always, you can find this program for free through your favorite podcast distributors or on our website, eTown.org.
Thank you, Marc Barasch. It's funny, we have always done this since we started the show. We've always done the combo of music and information about things we need to know more about. And it sometimes makes for an awkward transition, but if you do anything long enough, people just get used to it. That's the way it is. We are committed, and we're going to keep doing it. We got more music coming up from Alan Stone right now. I want to tell you about our next guest. We are so glad to have Nikki Lane back on the show. She is a native of South Carolina. She lived in California for a bit, New York, before moving to Nashville. She is kind of a late bloomer in the world of music. She started playing guitar and doing all that stuff when she was about 25, not long ago. But she has lost no time at all in figuring it all out. She's a prolific and fearless songwriter. You may remember that she also has a vintage clothing shop in Nashville. She's always on the lookout for cool vintage stuff, including today. She was out there cruising around, found some stuff. She mostly is just a great positive spirit, entertainer, songwriter. She's still on the road. She's playing shows either on her own or with her band all the time. And this time she's going to play with us. So please welcome back to eTown, Nikki Lane.
long black hair. She'll come to play, but she won't stay, and it always brings them down. Some folks say there'll come a day when she'll settle in some motel, but it's best you know that it's a long, long road and she ain't gonna come around. 60,000 miles blacktop, countless broken hearts between winding lines of wide don't stop, living the life of the highway queen. She's a siren, leaves you pining, haunts your mind like a melody. You can tie her down, you can bottle lightning, but the highway queen don't need no queen. E-Town. She needs no introduction, but Miss Helen Forster's gonna come out and sing with me. You guys know Nick Forster, right? The host of this thing? This couple right here, we were talking about it earlier, they've done 1,000 of these shows. I'm very jealous that you guys got to do 1,000 shows in one spot. I'm driving all over the place. I'm just now hitting 1,000 too. Assume so. It's been a long, long time since we placed our bets. Crazy as it is, we could win in. Yeah, true love don't come till you lay it all down on the line. Gotta go all in and give it all you got. Put the quarter in the slot, it's gonna be jackpot. Viva Las Vegas, Atlantic City rendezvous. Weekend in Reno, late night casino. I'll go anywhere with you. Rolling down the Mississippi, living us a river.
Nikki Lane, welcome back to eTown. So glad you're here. Highway Queen is such a great sounding record, and I bet it was fun to make.
Yeah.
You know, you've been pretty straight up front, candid about your whole musical career. In fact, the whole thing started out of spite, you said one time.
It's continuing too. Out of spite.
Because your boyfriend at the time went and made a record. You said, oh yeah, you're going to break up with me? I'm going to make a record?
Well, yeah, he told me to mind my own business. And I was really mad. I had dabbled with making music before. I knew that I was like, could kind of maybe sing, but I couldn't play guitar. But I worked up some songs like real quick. I found those 3 chords, and soon I had 10 songs like that. And I was like, I'll make a record too.
And you know what's funny about the spot that you occupy, which is this sort of, you know, fierce and candid and somewhere kind of a rockin' country person or a country rockin' person, you got a lot of good company. And in the process, you've met a lot of people who are kind of legendary and iconic, also sort of badass people. You know, Loretta Lynn, others like that.
I got to sit in her living room.
Yeah.
That like is kind of cool. Like I've kind of freaked out a little bit that morning, actually.
She's such an amazing human, right?
And a true pioneer, and
Yeah.
like juggled all the things.
And a feminist, even though she didn't know it, probably. I mean,
Well,
she's
she
sort
was
of
just a boss.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
so I think she's really inspiring.
Yeah. I like the fact that during your interview, Loretta said, I feel like we've known each other a long time. And the guy said, well, how is that? She said, I think maybe we knew each other in a past life or something. Loretta Lynn said that about you. That was kind of cool. You now have got your shop still, and is that doing okay? You're
It's doing pretty, that's why we're expanding.
high-class hillbilly.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I can't stop. We spent an hour and a half today, and my tour manager said that was quick. So it's like a feature film or something. I got to get them like a better movie system
you got
in
good
the rig.
stuff.
It's so fun.
Yeah. Hey, a couple more things before we get back to music. I don't remember it, but there was a cool quote from one of your high school teachers that sort of inspired you to be
Complacency kills.
complacency kills.
Yeah, just drove right into me. Anybody else? No, I don't know. He was my track coach too, and I was like that girl. I'd run one loop, and then I'd hide behind the bathroom, and let them run the other, and then I'd finish the last loop.
Really?
Of course.
Wow.
I thought I was smart too, but then he put that on the board. Complacency kills, and that's going to be great because that's what the next song is about.
Really? Okay. Well, we're going to get to it. So, 2 things before we go. One is we're going to be eagerly anticipating your next record. It's been a while, but you've been on the road all the time. So, whatever it is your next experience is going to be, you'll write a bunch of songs about that, and that will be
It's
your next
happening
record.
right now.
It is. Like this
I wrote
minute.
a song in the basement.
You did?
Just a few minutes ago.
Oh, good.
It was like, I ain't 24 anymore, and I've said it 12 times before. But these days, that's the age of allure. See?
There you go.
Don't ask me what happened. I was just getting ready. Just living it, looking in that bright mirror.
Okay, well, right after the show, we're going down and we're tracking that thing. Just to
I'm ready.
We'll put it down. All right, well, we're always happy to see you. You've got such a cool pathway you've carved for yourself that makes perfect sense to us. So come back whenever you want. Meanwhile, we got more music. Welcome back, Nikki Lane.
This song's called Try a Little Harder. I used to think that it was all in my head, like some kind of condition from a book that I read. I couldn't take much more than I'd been through, so I called up the doctor. I said, what should I do? He told me, sometimes you gotta try a little harder, try a little harder to get what you want. Keep singing. Sometimes you gotta try a little harder, push a little further just to make it on your own. I woke up to some bad news today, just when I thought that things were finally going my way. But my car won't start and I got piles of bills to pay. thinking back to where it all began, at the edge of the world with my toes in the sand. I cried out, Daddy, what if I can't swim? Said you'll never know if you don't dive in. Keep singing. Sometimes you gotta try a little harder, try a little harder to get what you want. Keep singing. Sometimes you gotta try a little harder, push a little further just to make it on your own. Sometimes you gotta try a little harder, try a little harder to get what you want. Keep singing. Sometimes you gotta try a little harder, push a little further just to make it on your own. On your own. On your own.
Your band is great, you guys. I know I can't take you on the road because you got to stay here and do your real job. What a fantastic place. Thank you for having me. This is the Barbara Mandrell song.
I'm ready.
I remember wearing straight leg Levi's, flannel shirts, even when they weren't in style. I remember singing with Roy Rogers, with the movies when the West was really wild. And I was listening to the opera when all my friends were singing rock and roll and rhythm and blues. I was country when country wasn't cool. I remember circling the drive-in, turning in and turning down George Jones. I remember when no one was looking, I was putting peanuts in my Coke. Well, I took a lot of kidding, 'cause I never did fit in. Well, look at everybody trying to be what I was then. I was country when country wasn't cool. Alan Stone.
I was country when country wasn't cool. Yeah, well, I was country from my head down to my boots. Oh, and I still act and look the same. What you see ain't nothing new. Well, I was country when country wasn't cool.
I remember the first time I heard Town sing the blues. I watched Merle Haggard sing and I saw Lucinda too. I was country when country wasn't cool. Yeah, I was country when country wasn't cool.
Yeah, I was country from my head down to my boots. I still act and look the same. What you see ain't nothing new. Yeah, I was country when country wasn't cool. Yeah, I was country when country wasn't cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Nikki Lane, along with the eTones, Ron Jolly, Chris Engelman, Christian Teal, Helen Forrester, and Alan Stone sitting in on that last song. Nikki Lane, her record's called Highway Queen. She'll be back for the big finale in just a bit.
Your visit to eTown is made possible in part by the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District, or SCFD, one of the largest cultural funding mechanisms in the United States, supporting nearly 300 organizations in the greater Denver area. As a reminder, for your viewing pleasure, there are over 2,000 videos on the eTown YouTube channel, where you can also subscribe in order to stay up to date with our latest offerings. You're listening to eTown.
I'm Nick Forster. I'd like to say hello to our listeners who are hearing eTown right now on KUWR in Laramie, Wyoming, and in fact on Wyoming Public Radio throughout the state, on WCNR, The Corner in Charlottesville, Virginia, and on KXCR in Florence, Oregon. As always, if you want more information about any of the things that have been happening at eTown, lots of stuff is online at etown.org. Please help me welcome back to eTown, Alan Stone.
Give it up for the eTown band, man. I think incredible. There's a song off Building Balance called Taste of You. We're going to play it together. I'm excited for this one. This is fun.
How do you look that good? Don't have to ask, you know that I would. But just a taste of you. I spend my life collecting. I sell it all with no hesitating. Just a taste of you. I'm not thinking about tomorrow, 'cause I feel so good right where I am. If your love should follow, I give you everything I can. Some things hard to swallow. Life can leave a bitter taste, but it's nothing that you're sweet. Can't replace. Don't make me beg that way. There's not a single game I won't play, but just a taste of you. Oh, baby, if you need some love, just call me and I will come running. Oh, for just a taste of you. I'm not thinking about tomorrow, 'cause I feel so good right where I am. If your love should follow, I'll give you everything sweetness. Oh, it's nothing that your sweetness can't replace. Oh, it's nothing that your sweetness, nothing that your sweetness can't replace. It's nothing that your sweetness can't replace.
Thank you very much.
That's Alan Stone. The record is called Building Balance, out on ATO Records, along with the eTones, Chris and Christian and Ron and Helen. We've got time for one more song. We want to get everybody out to do this last song. I want to thank all our guests. Thanks to Marc Barasch for coming, author and environmentalist, talking about the value and the importance of planting trees around the world. We got to do it. We got to do it. 1 trillion trees, who knows? Thanks to Nikki Lane for coming from Austin and Nashville. Always good to have Nikki on the show. Thanks to Alan Stone and the eTones and Helen Forster. Here's a song we've never done as a finale before. It's an old, I think it's from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and great song we're happy to do. I'm Nick Forster. Hope you can be with us next week right here in eTown.
Lazy yellow moon coming up tonight, shining through the trees. The crickets are singing and the lightning bugs are floating on a breeze. Baby, get ready.
Across the field where the creek turned back by the old stone road, I'm gonna take you to a special place that nobody knows. Baby, get ready. Ooh, you and me going fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool winds roll. Down by the river in the full moonlight, we'll fall in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow. Spend the whole night through, feels so good to be with you. Spring is almost over and the summer's coming, the days are getting long. Waiting on a winter for the time to be right, just to take you along. Baby, get ready.
And it don't matter if we sit forever and the fish don't bite. We'll jump in the river and cool ourselves from the heat of the night. Baby, get ready. Ooh, you and me go fishing.
eTown's recorded at eTown Hall and produced by our donor-supported nonprofit organization. You can go to our website, etown.org, to comment about eTown, or email us at info@etown.org. Distribution of eTown is made possible by our family of sponsors, this station, and listeners like you.
Spend the whole night through, feels so good to be with you and me. Go fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and count the stars where the cool winds blow. Down by the river in the we'll be falling in love, we'll be falling in love, just moving slow. You and me go fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and count the stars where the cool winds grow. Down by the river in the we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow. You and me go fishing in the dark.
This is a production of eTown.